video regarding Barry Jordan and a challenge that was made to Barry Jordan. I just want to update you what I've done, what I did yesterday. I wasted an entire day from the time I woke up to the time I got home. I got nothing accomplished. Not because I didn't try, but because of the lockdown in the Philippines. So the first thing I did was I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. By 6 o'clock, I was ready to leave. By 6:30, I was on a jeepney on my way into the city to go to one of 5 what is called a recycling yard or used metal yard in the Philippines. We call it a scrap yard or a junk yard. And what I wanted to buy was 10 millimeter, minimum 10 millimeter chain. Now normally any one of those scrap yards would have that chain in it. However, of the 5 biggest scrap yards in the city of Tagbilaran, 3 are completely gone. There's just an empty lot with weeds growing in the empty lot. Well, one of them is an empty building. But 2 of them are empty lots with actually trees growing in there, because I haven't been there in years. The 2 that remain, no longer does the owner go to the yard itself, and they had like a Filipino foreman in charge of the yard, and he either couldn't understand that I want chain, 10 millimeter chain, or he didn't have chain. But either way, he spoke 0 English, nor was he even interested in getting a translator. So I went back to that shop. That's the junkyard near the Bahico Electric facility, and you wouldn't even know it was a junkyard. It is a junkyard, but their main staple of goods has gone from collecting scrap metals to basically collecting bottles. I saw a 40-foot tractor trailer truck with bags of rum bottles. That's it. That's what I saw inside the warehouse, nothing else. And there was a man unloading a truck with some junk metal, roofing metal. So that was one of the 2 junkyards that are still open, and the second of the 2 junkyards, of the 5 junkyards that once existed in the city of Tagbilaran, the second one, it had 1 piece of 10 millimeter chain, 2 feet long, and he wanted 100 pesos per foot, which, if there was a 30-foot piece, that would be a reasonable price. But for a 2-foot piece of scrap chain, that has no value to me. I need 30 feet. I need a 30-foot piece. I need 2 30-foot pieces, actually, to pick up the container when I'm ready to move the container, to have the machine come in and pick up the container. So that 2-foot piece would serve no purpose. I could probably buy used chain anywhere for 100 pesos a foot in the normal times. But now there is no chain. I just found that hard to believe, because I remember walking through junkyards and they would put the chain right at the front door, and there'd be barrels of chain. Now there's no chain. So I went to... Now, I happen to know where there are stores that you will never find, not on the internet, not by asking tricycle drivers. These are off the road stores. You would never be able to find the stores that I went to. And I wanted to buy cable slings, S-L-I-N-G, cable slings. I would buy two 10-foot cable slings, and then it would probably be cheaper than chain. It wouldn't serve as many purposes as chain later on down the road, but I would buy two. There is no store. This is the city of Bohol, Tagbilaran. There is no store in Bohol, in Tagbilaran, nothing that sells any kind of cable thicker than the cable you might use for a dog leash. Nothing. There is no swage shop where they swage cable together. There is no place that sells chain other than Build-A-Wear, and they want 188 pesos per foot, or 376 cents, or $3.76 per foot for a chain, and that's just a ridiculous price. I mean, that chain shouldn't cost any more than $1.50 a foot, brand new. So they basically more than doubled the price of chain in the last 2 years. Because I remember that's what the price was, $1.50 a foot. It was $4.50 a meter. So the price of chain has more than doubled, and only one store sells chain, and that would be Build-A-Wear, and they didn't even have a 30-foot piece. They wanted to sell me a 26-foot piece and told me I can add onto it later on. And I said, well, no, I want one piece. Sir, you can buy this now, and when we get more, you can add onto it later on. But what would I do with it? It's not long enough to do what the job I wanted to buy it for. They have no regard whatsoever for your wallet. So basically, if I bought a 26-foot piece of chain without adding chain to it, I could not use it, and then I would have to depend on them to get more chain, which could be tomorrow, it could be next year. Who knows? Next year being January. They don't know. A worker in the store certainly doesn't know, but they don't care. They want you to buy their product right now, today. Let's make a sale. Whether you can use it or not, it's not part of their mental facility whether or not that chain is usable or not. It's not usable, so I would invest 6 times $3.76 would be roughly $90, a little over $90. And if I wouldn't be able to use it, unless I had another piece of chain to add to it, and I don't. Because at that point, I would need a compatibility link to add chain to it. That part would be $6, and then I would need another piece of chain. And then I would want hooks that they didn't have in the store available, but they'll be available soon. So I'd want a chain hook to hook it to itself, and so I want to buy the chain from them according to their worthless, absolutely, completely worthless sales tactics. Spend $95 for a chain, because I have to $90 for the chain, and it's going to cost me $5 to get it home in a tricycle. So spend $95 for a chain. They don't have the hooks for it, so I would have to use bolts, and I'd have to use 4 bolts, and the bolts take, several minutes to put on and take off, and that would be, a very time-consuming project to change the chain to pick up the container at different configuration, different points. So I wouldn't have the chain I wanted. I wouldn't have hooks. They can't tell me when the hooks would be in. They can't tell me when the piece of chain I would need to add to the chain is. And I need a minimum of 10 millimeter chain to pick up the container. So I would spend $95 and not have what I want, instead of spending $115 with a 30-foot, a 20-foot piece of chain with hooks, maybe $115, $120 with the tricycle. So you are at such a disadvantage here in the Philippines. You do not let salespeople tell you what you want. Do not let salespeople in the Philippines tell you that, don't worry, sir, we'll have when we get the chain in, we'll call you. No, they didn't say that, but they will tell you, we'll call you when you get the chain in. They'll make you stand at the counter, put your name in a book, tell them what you want, and then they won't ever call you. So just don't let people in the Philippines tell you what you need or what's good for you. So my other option is to buy cable or cable slings, which is where I'm going to go with this, but I'm going to have to go to Cebu to buy cable slings. And that was going to 5 different major junkyards, 3 of which no longer exist, 2 of which had nothing as far as chain is concerned, and then Build-A-Ware listening to their worthless sales pitch for me to spend $100 and get nothing for my money. At the end of the day, it would be not usable for what my needs are. So now we're going to get into now that I have a few people here, I'm going to get into Barry Jordan. I'm warning you, do not take the challenge. Now, I spent a half an hour putting links. No, I spent a lot more than a half an hour. I spent 45 minutes putting links together for the challenge, links together for the abuse of that child that had cancer, and he was abused. But not personally, intentionally, but the person who used that child with cancer's video, that is just wrong in so many ways. I also had a link for No Equity, the video No Equity, and what was said inside that video was more slander and malignment of certain businesses in the Philippines, or a certain business in the Philippines. I sent out the video called Challenge Accepted. I sent that to the authorities with the timestamps of starting the video at 39 minutes. That's all done. I could show you the email, but I don't have to do that. That's all done. The authorities now have that video in their possession to show character, to show mental state. And also, I want to make it clear that the person who posted the video, challenge accepted, I'm not sure why, but his so-called companion deleted her Facebook account after that video was made. And if I had to make a guess, I would guess for the same reason the person who made the video deleted the video. It is pure. First of all, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that's watched the video that the video leads up to blatant, outright death threats against Barry Jordan. Because that's what it says at the 39-minute mark. It is clear as day that this person wants Barry Jordan to enter his property inside his gate on his lawn, at which point the death threat becomes legal according to the Philippines laws. If Barry were to walk over the threshold of this person's gate, legally, Barry could be shot on sight, no questions asked, because I'll give you the summation of what would be used in a court of law on behalf of this person shooting Barry upon Barry walking over his threshold of his gate. So, number one, Barry has been talking about fighting this person. That's factual. Number two, Barry has said he wants to do physical harm to this person. That's factual. Now, also in return, it's factual that it's an agreed common denominator between the two people. However, the law would be on this person's side to shoot Barry dead upon him walking across the threshold, because if Barry accepted the terms of the challenge, which are, you, Barry Jordan, have to come to me. Well, number one, right off the bat, that would be considered stalking, and stalking is not allowed. So Barry would have one strike against him. Number two, this person wants Barry to come to his page, his yard, with no witnesses, no backup, nobody to see what actually transpires once Barry crosses the threshold of the gate, which in and of itself says that there's going to be some nefarious stuff going on there. If you don't want witnesses to a legitimate so-called fight on your property, it's because you have something planned. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Flywoods. Yeah. And you can actually, if you want, you can post the video link to the people that are posting the video, re-uploading the video. That video went to the authorities, by the way. It was sent out this morning. I think by now they've probably, if they opened up their mail, they only had to watch it from the 39-minute mark onwards. So number two, Barry would be stalking this person. Legitimately, legally, he would be stalking the person by going to his house. Number two, he would enter into the person's domain, at which point the person could legitimately shoot him, or his partner could shoot him. And there would be nothing that Barry could do about it, because first of all, he'd have no witnesses to the event, according to the rules of the challenge, which makes no sense at all. And number two, he would be dead. So Barry really wouldn't have much to say about this. So Barry, if I know you're not thinking about taking the challenge, no one would take that challenge. But to prove my point, there are videos of this person saying that if Roberto, I think it was Roberto, came to his property and stepped on his property, he could literally shoot Roberto, and he would get away with it. Or anybody else came on his property, he could crush their head with a rock, smash their head with a baseball bat, possibly a different video, possibly the same video, and or hit them with a golf club. And that's true. He could do that, because that would be entering the person's private property, and you're allowed to protect your private property in the Philippines. Not much different than in America. So when you hear this challenge, I think Flywood posted the video that's posted on another page. Start the video at the 39-minute mark. Now, in addition to that video, the man in the last 96 hours, in my opinion, has lost control of his destiny. Okay? So he definitely posted a video called The Challenge Accepted. Definitely. That's definite. We all have screenshots of that. And that is, in fact, the screenshot on this live stream where the video has been removed by the uploader. But if you'll notice, if you went to that link, that's the link from the video. Now, there are screenshots of the video, but for legal purposes, I did not put the screenshots up on the page. However, the voice matches the channel and the person's face. So we're not talking about anymore no face, no case. We're talking about voice analysis and or mental acuity, mental state of consciousness. Now, that's number one. Number two, his so-called partner, after he posted that video, removed her entire Facebook page. I don't know if it was a coincidence, or she was totally embarrassed, or it was a request to remove your Facebook page so no know what's going on a personal level. But it sure doesn't seem like a coincidence that an outright, blatant challenge was put down, and if the challenge was taken, a person's life would probably be ended by accepting the challenge, and then the so-called partner removed her entire Facebook page. All of her Facebook history is gone, or at least set on private. And that doesn't seem to be a coincidence. It was, as far as anybody can tell, it was after that video posted, but also after the video of this person abusing Barry Jordan and referring Barry Jordan's 12-year-old pictures, or a picture of a boy with cancer, or something called pierogi disease. I don't remember the name of the disease, but it's a disease where children grow old. By the time they're 15 years old, their maximum life expectancy is about 20 years old. On average, they live to 10 or 12 years old. And this person made a reference to Barry Jordan as a child with that disease. That's just wrong. That's just wrong in so many ways. So that video was up. Could be why his partner took down her Facebook page. The challenge was posted. Could be why his partner took down the Facebook page. Could be his partner just said, "Whoa, I just have to, separate myself from these videos, not from the person itself, but from the videos themselves." And of course, that's basically what it was. He was crying that he was going off YouTube again because so many people were against him. He couldn't take the pressure. And again, what did he do? Again, he quit YouTube for good, forever, unless there's an emergency upload that he had to make. And the emergency upload was to post a video called Challenge Accepted, and then in that video blatantly, outright state what he was going to do to Barry Jordan if Barry Jordan accepted his challenge. One of the things he was going to do was to break his arms. That if he won, break his arms, crush his chest, crush Barry Jordan's chest with his feet, and also rip Barry's lips off his face. That sounds like a death threat. That's not much different than the carpet knife video, where he showed a carpet knife and said he wanted to cut out Barry Jordan's tongue, which also went to the authorities. Now, I don't know what they'll do with it, but I just want you to know that those videos went to the authorities, and the same authorities. Who knows what they'll do, if anything at all. But he's out of control. He has lost control of his mental facilities and his channel. And of course, by stating some of the things that he said in a video, it's so hard to keep track because now he's posting 3, 4, 5 videos a day. Who could keep track of all that crap? I was in the city all day yesterday and 3 or 4 videos were posted. I come home and I'll pick one. And one of them was about Daisy May. Another video, a year and a half after Daisy and I split up, another video trying to prove that Daisy May was proactively involved with finding another boyfriend while I was in New York. What can I say about that? He can't prove it's true. And I asked Daisy May a year and a half ago if it was true, because he posted that a year and a half ago. And Daisy, in her own way, that I knew Daisy for 3.5 years, I lived with her, she shrugged it off as a lie without flinching. And I believe her. why wouldn't I believe her? She never, ever, one time ever lied to me. Now, if she found another man after we broke up, what can I say about that? That's okay. But what is wrong with that? Where does this clown come off ridiculing Daisy for finding another man? Although he said she was proactively looking for another man while I was in New York, he has no proof of that. His only proof of that is some piece of garbage named the Hemorrhoid who said that. He and another piece of garbage troll account with no name, no videos, no uploads, no like videos, no playlists said that it's true, that he was on the Facebook page with Daisy, but no one ever showed any conversation between Daisy and this other party. If there was conversation, the little fella would have put that conversation up on the live stream that he was making at the time. But all there was references from troll accounts saying that, yeah, Daisy was actively looking for another man while I was in New York. And so what? So what? At the end of the day, the bottom line is, what difference does it make? We're no longer together. We're no longer in any way, shape, or form boyfriend and girlfriend. At the time I was in New York, we hadn't had any major problems that I remember. And when I came back, I asked her if any of it was true, and she said no, and I believed her. Now, what she did after she left, I could care less. What's none of my business what she did. It's none of his business to keep posting that crap. But he does. Why? Because he's an angry loser. He's basically one of YouTube's greatest losers. He's not a man. That's for sure. Real men don't go back 2 years and post lies about something they can't prove. Real men don't do that. However, real men do eat shrimp in their entirety, with the heads first and the shell of the shrimp and the tail of the shrimp. Real men eat shrimp, whole shrimp, with the tail, the head, and the shell. That's a real man. This guy, he's not a real man by any standards, even taking the lowest common denominator of real men, how they eat shrimp. He's not a real man. He's worried that the shrimp that I eat in their entirety, he's not worried. He's hoping that they make me choke to death and that I die on YouTube, and he will laugh. He said he would laugh. There would be the biggest. See, that's not a real man. A real man would come to my house and say that to my face. But he's not a real man by definition. I mean, if he wants to challenge Barry to be a real man and go to his house, well, then what's fair is fair. Then come to my house and tell me you want to watch me eat shrimp and die. That's a real man. But you would never do that. And I don't expect you to do that, and I'm not asking you to do that. But what I am saying is a real man is not going to go backtrack 2 years ago to an innocent Filipina where there is no proof whatsoever that while I was in New York, she was having conversations with other men. None at all. None that I've ever seen. Now, if there was proof, I never saw it. So that's the difference between myself and this clown on YouTube who keeps challenging people to things that are unrealistic. It's unrealistic to challenge Barry to and he's not even going, I'm going to reimburse. But you're not going to reimburse Barry because he's going to walk over your fence line and you're going to shoot him, and you'll have every right to do so. So you're not even going to reimburse him. You're going to just shoot him. He's not going to get reimbursed for any money for travel expenses. And Barry can't take another man as his second. Let's say Flywoods and myself wanted to go as witnesses, and we would live stream it from two different points of view. One would get behind the little fella, and one would get behind Barry Jordan. We'll see who wins the fight. But he doesn't want that. But I am sure that I could get, or anybody could get, witnesses to go there and live stream this event, but he wants no witnesses because there's, again, nefarious reasons. He's got a sinister backup plan. He's not going to let Barry Jordan raise his hands. Barry's going to walk across that fence line and get shot, and legally shot. It won't be any. Or on the other hand, how many times has he said that if Barry Jordan ever goes to his island, he'll be arrested on the spot? That's as bad or worse than getting shot, because then he'll end up in jail. So no matter what happens, Barry is going to lose. Now, if he was a real man, he'd go see Barry Jordan. That's my opinion. And he could bring as many people as he wants. They could live stream the event, and it'll be good to go. But no, he won't do that because he's not a real man. And that's been proven 1,000 times over. So I'm going to go to my comments, if there are any, and then I might give you some more details. Probably not, though. I think I'm done. I got to actually go outside, and I got to go into my flying circus. Will there be another crying, singing video? Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Flying circuses. Will there be another crying, singing video because he got dumped again? Yeah, that was that Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young hit. I don't remember the name of the group, but he was crying. There was no doubt about it. Maybe it's because I love you. I'm singing this song. Dude, you are the bottom of the bottom of the bottom feeders on the YouTube community. Why do you think there's over 500 videos attributed to you and your hate? Why do you think that is? Do you think these people made it up? I don't think so. I think that they took your videos and expressed their opinion about your videos. And your videos are vicious and hateful and spiteful and vengeful. On a daily basis, you do this. Now, yesterday, I posted what I did yesterday for the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of this video. But you make a blatant statement that every video I make is about you. Well, what about the other day? I put up a 4-hour video. I don't think I mentioned your name at all, ever. And I make many videos like that. But after you decide to put a video up condemning me or ridiculing Daisy May, and she has no way to defend herself, and I can't defend her because I don't have anything to do with Daisy May. And I certainly don't know what Daisy May said on Facebook 2 years ago. So there's no way I can provably defend her. But you are a sick, twisted, angry man that attacks vulnerable Filipinos constantly. It's your modus operandi. It's what you do. You attack innocent people. You will never, ever say anything what you said to me or anybody else. That I know for a fact. You'll never fight Barry in an open forum where not inside your gate. You'll never fight Big Head. You'll never fight Pinoy Troll. You'll never fight Roberto. You'll never fight MJ. You'll never fight me. Because you're a coward, dude. It's just that simple. It's not complicated. You have backed down. You back down from every fight that you've ever confronted anybody with. You initiated the confrontation, and then when it comes to fruition, you back down for one reason or another. So you changed the goalposts. Now look at how you just changed the goalposts. You made it impossible for there to be a fair fight. You want Barry Jordan to come to your house alone with no witnesses, cross over the threshold of your gate, and then you're going to have a fair fight, when in fact in multiple videos you said if anybody ever comes on your property, you would crush their head with a rock, smash their head open with a baseball bat, hit them with a golf club, or shoot them. You said that. There are sound bites to that effect, because that's inside your twisted head, you think somebody's going to take your challenge. Nobody's going to take your challenge. Nobody in their right mind would take your challenge. You changed the goalposts to where you could do anything you want to Barry, and no one could say a word about it. And legally, you'd be in the right, in the clear. Because you're a coward, that's why. Not because you're a tough guy. A tough guy would go meet Barry in a neutral territory, or meet Barry in a parking lot in Mobile. You know he doesn't even have the money to get to your house. He doesn't even have the money to get to your house. And you want him to go to your house, outlay that much money? That would be a lot of money for Barry. But you want Barry to jump through all the hurdles. You're not going to reimburse him because when he walks over that threshold, you're going to kill him. There's no doubt in anybody's mind what's on your mind. And that's because you're a sick, twisted man to believe anybody would take your challenge. And then you're going to say that Barry's a coward if he doesn't take your challenge? No, Barry's a genius for not taking your challenge. Barry sees through your bullshit for not taking your challenge. Your challenge sucks, dude. By law, your challenge doesn't leave Barry any option other than to get shot on your property. That is not a fight. That's a coward way of calling Barry a coward, because that's what you are, a coward. Barry called you a coward. Everybody on YouTube called you a coward. Everybody's in agreement you're a coward. It must be so, right? Just like it must be so that if Roberto is separated from his wife by a few hundred miles, according to you, Roberto must be cheating on his legal wife. Well, if we reflect that into your direction, and you're separated from Jimmy's wife by thousands of miles, then you must be cheating on Jimmy's wife. Does anybody disagree with that concept? Roberto is separated by a few hundred miles from his legitimate wife. Therefore, according to the little fella, Roberto must be cheating on his wife. Therefore, to hold that same theory over to you, little man, then you're separated from Jimmy's wife by 6,000 miles. You must be cheating on Jimmy's wife. How complicated is this? If we hold the same standards true for people that are separated. Therefore, going one step further, Daisy and I'm not real sure where Daisy is, but we're separated by hundreds of miles in all likelihood. She must be cheating on me, even though we're not going out with one another. But when I was in New York, according to your worthless opinions and your trolls, when I was in New York separated from Daisy by 7,000 miles, she had to be cheating on me, or she was cheating on me, because you are a worthless instigator. You're a troll on YouTube, and you start trouble wherever you go, and you can't back up even one iota of anything you've ever said. Show me the Facebook chat with dates and timestamps between March 1st and May 5th that Daisy was talking to somebody, of 2019, that Daisy was talking to somebody on Facebook. Show that to me, and then I will say, wow, I made a mistake. But you won't, and you can't, because you just make innuendo up, and then it becomes a fact or reality in your little brain. I'm going to check the comments, and then actually I got to go look for more. I got to look for my cable slings. What I brought from New York are, I have a cable sling that it would probably lift up 17,000 pounds, but I need another one. I got to see if I can make one with the other cable that I brought from New York. So hold on a minute. Let me get to my channel. Okay, so Barry Jordan will perish if he takes the challenge is the name of the video. I'm going to put the video on, name of the video. I'm going to put the video on mute. Yeah. Flywoods. That's right, Flywoods. Oh boy, we have a lot of trolls here today. Hey, welcome to the machine, trolls. By the way, that guy, Freebird, you're a freaking troll. You're a worthless troll, Freebird. And I said so on, I think, DQ Labs video. You have no... Listen, I'm going to make this clear. This is an alpha male channel. You want to say something derogatory, negative, positive. If you want your opinion voiced on my channel, you can either be known by me personally or have video content of something that associates itself with you. You can't come on my channel and post any kind of garbage you want about anybody else if you have no content on your channel, unless I know you. And if I don't know you, I'm just going to block you. And I'll block every single person on YouTube. If I don't know who they are, I'm going to block you. If I don't like what you say, I'm going to block you. It's not complicated. I'm not going to let some worthless troll... What was that guy's name? Bill Clinton. A worthless troll. He has no content on his page. I'm not going to let Bill Clinton leave comments on my page. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to let Freebird leave comments on my page. It's not going to happen. This is an alpha male channel. You want to be an alpha male? Let us know who you are. Let us see your real name, maybe some identification. Now, in Flying Circus's case, nobody on YouTube knows who Flying Circus is except me. There isn't another single person on YouTube that knows exactly who Flying Circus is except me. And I've known for years. And you'll never hear who Flying Circus is. Not from me. And apparently he hasn't told anybody else because the information never got out. But I know exactly who 95% of all the private people on my channel are that I allow on my channel. I know their names, their email addresses, where they live, their jobs. I know all of that shit. So Flying Circus, no one knows who he is, but I know who he is. He can post anything he wants on my page. And you're not coming on my page or my channel and leaving comments if I don't know who you are, and you have no credible videos up on your channel. This is an alpha male channel, not a beta male channel. Well, let's see what we got. We got nothing so far. We have one. Okay, that's worthless. Okay, that's another worthless, more worthless trolling. You guys spend a lot of time trolling for people that get blocked. Okay, more. Jeez, how many? That's 10 already? 10 of these videos were deleted? Wow. Some of the stuff that you guys are saying. That's what Flying Circus just said. You guys are really... How many? I think that's like 17 comments that Flying Circus blocked. Okay, wow, that's, wait, let me, I'm going to count this. I'm going to count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 comments by trolls. Okay, let's go on. Looking quite carnivorous. Hey, Scott, the great Scott Del Fuego. Yeah, that carnivore diet, man, that thing is working. That thing is working majorly, man. I have been no, no wish, want, will, or desire for rice, for pasta, for bread. The carnivore diet is working. And every day I can feel the difference in the size of the clothes, how loose they're getting in the belt. Now yesterday we went off the chain yesterday, and I think I ate damn near a kilo of pork with the fat, baby, because the fat is what keeps you from getting hungry. I did. I'll tell you why. I was, just to get off the subject of the trolls for a minute. The great Scott Del Fuego. He may not be able to stay here much longer because it's late where he is. I went off the chain eating pork yesterday. I ate. I'm going to go. I think I ate 3/4 or more of a kilo of pork yesterday, and there was a reason for that. And I also drank 5 liters of water between the hours of 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 7:30 at night when I went to sleep, because I got up at 5. I was on the jeepney at 6:30. I was in the city at 7:30. Now the first jeepney brought me to BQ Mall, at which point I took a tricycle for 15 pesos to Coron, not Coron, yeah, Coron. It's up past Bilderweb, and Coron or Caron, and I went to 3. Well, I went to 2 junkyards. Excuse me. I went to 3 junkyards. 2 of them were gone. So that was from 7:30 till 8 o'clock. It's 8:15. Then there was another junkyard that's about almost a mile away from where Bajico Electric is, to a 1/4 of a mile past Jollibee off the main road. So that's almost a mile, but it's a main road. So I said, you know what? Let me walk that mile, which is up and down hills, and to see if there's a hardware store or a sling shop or a cable shop or another hardware store that sells chain, or an automotive shop that sells chain. So at that point I walked an entire mile to my next and fourth recycling shop. And that shop is the shop that had 2 feet of 10 millimeter chain, and it was so rusted. The guy goes, "Oh, you can wire brush it down." Well, these people, they tell you stuff that comes out of some strange place in their brain. We're talking about a piece of metal chain that's been sitting in a puddle because it was wet outside for how many years? And the guy tells me I could wire brush the chain down. That would be impossible. You could sandblast it down, but that's what you'd have to do. And I don't have a sandblaster. And then you'd have to have a big sandblaster. And you'd have to have sand and a compressor, and that would no one would do that. You could just paint over the rust, for that matter. But this is the first thing that comes out of their mouth is that this chain you'll be able to use this chain. You can wire brush it down. That would be impossible. You gave that guy a wire brush and the chain, he could spend 4 or 5 hours before he polished up that chain, and it would still be a rusty chain. So I went to the third shop, which was, if you go to Jollibee's on the main road, you have to walk up the street of Jollibee's, up the road. The way they describe where the fourth recycling metal shop was, is the guard at Jollibee's tells you, you see that post, which is a huge electric light post? Yes, sir, I see the post. One more post. After that is the recycle shop. But it's not one more post, it's 2 more posts. So the first post is 500 feet away uphill. The second post is 500 more feet uphill, and the third post is 500 more feet uphill. So it's 1,500 feet, not on the other side of the post. Anyway, so that was 2 miles that I walked on that, because I walked around the district of Cologne or Cologne. No, Corone. I think it was Corone. I forget the name of the. Anyway, I went into every major department store. There's a place back there. It's a new mall that they have a hardware store. They had a dog chain. That's all they had. So anyway, from there, I decided I would walk to ICM Mall, where there was another junkyard back behind ICM Mall. So I walked about halfway to ICM Mall, and then it started to rain. So I got on a tricycle and went to where the recycle plant was, but it's not there anymore. It's just an empty lot with weeds. So there was 3 in that area, in the Bahico Electric area, 2 in the Bahico Electric area, 1 past Jollibee's, and 1 up the block from Build-A-Ware. It's gone. It's just an empty lot. So that's 4. I went to the 5th place, and I got dropped off at the commercial district by the ICM Mall, and I walked another 3/4 of a mile and zigzagged in and out of all the back roads, because in the back roads is where the recycle plant was, but it's not there anymore. By myself, by the way, because I'm not afraid to walk around in the Philippines. And that's gone. Then I went to the commercial. There's a commercial building back there that sells commercial heavy equipment, asking them if they could order it from me. No, they only sell what's in the store. They can't order anything. If it's out of stock, they can't order it, because China's not sending anything to the Philippines anymore. So whatever's in stock is all they'll ever have. But I got some good advice. I could just go to Cebu and look for the chain or the cable. Could the guy who told me go to Cebu and look for chain or cable? No. First of all, it would be, I'm not real sure what the current price to Cebu is, but I would have to take a tricycle at 5 o'clock in the morning. That would be $6. Then I'd have to get on the boat, buy a ticket. I think a one-way ticket. Yeah, they're one-way tickets. Okay, a one-way ticket was 800 pesos, but now it could be 1,000 or plus 1,000. That was 3 years ago. Well, the week the lockdown started was the last time I was on a ferry. So that was a year and a half ago, and that was 850 pesos. So now it's probably more than 1,000. So I'd have to spend $1,026 just to get there, another $2 to go to North Commercial, the commercial district. So that would be $28. Then I'd have to start walking around the warehouses, at which point I know for a fact I could buy chain or cable. But I'd have to buy it, put it in a tricycle for another $3 to bring it back. So that'd be $31, figure $5 for lunch, $36, and $20 to get back, $56. So if I could do it all in one day, I'd have to spend $60, but I have 3 things that I want if I went to Cebu, so I would have to go to Cebu for 2 days. So it would cost me $125 to $150 to go buy chain that I could buy in Build-A-Ware for $130 if they had a piece of chain the length I wanted. They don't. And then one day they will. In the meantime, I have a sling in my cargo container that's, I think it's 9 feet long. I have it. I don't remember. It's been years since I saw it. But I know I have a brand new 18,000-pound sling, cable sling, in my container. And I also have enough cable. I don't know where it is. It's in one of my cargo containers. I have enough cable to make another cable to pick up the cargo container, but it's not a flexible cable. It's the kind of cable that they tie telephone poles down from the top of the pole down into the ground. It's it's a 7-strand cable. High tensile strength, 7-strand, 3/8 inch cable. And if I tripled it up, when I have enough to triple it up, it would pick up 3,000 pounds. That's what I need to pick up, 3,000 pounds. And 3,000 with the chain or the other cable would make 6,000 pounds. That'll pick up the cargo container. So I walked 2 miles, going back, I walked 2 miles in the hot sun between 7:30, and by this time I got to the 4th recycle plant. That was like 10:15. Then I went to all around the back. I walked another mile in the commercial district, up and down the back roads, looking for maybe another place, not necessarily a junkyard, but any trucking company that would have an extra chain to sell to me, because that's a common item on a truck. But nobody had an extra chain that they wanted to sell. So that's 3 miles that I walked. Then I walked back to the ICM Mall. Then I went into their hardware store. They don't have any chain or cable at all, nothing. A dog chain they have, like a little chain for a leash. Then from there, I went to the pool supply to buy some patches and things for something I wanted. I needed some supplies from the pool supply. That was an extra from the ICM Mall, 1,500 feet there. Then 1,500 feet back, that's another half a mile. That's 3.5 miles. And I did all of this on one bottle of water, one 700 millimeter bottle of water. Then from there, I went back to the city. And I decided to walk around the commercial area of the city looking for a truck with a chain on it that I could buy. Now, there's lots of trucks that have chains on them, but do they want to sell me a chain? That's the question. And I would never steal it. So, if the truck driver had a chain, they know what they need. If they had an extra chain that they don't use in the gang box, I could buy it from them. So I walked another mile. That was 4.5 miles. Then I got on the jeepney and came home, and then had to walk another 1,000 feet, 850 feet to my house. So I got home about 3:15. And when I got home, I drank an entire gallon of water within an hour. And I never went to the bathroom. So I dehydrated myself pretty good yesterday. Then I was hungry. And then I ate 3/4 of a kilo of pork. Pretty much nonstop. I made some pork in the broiler, and that wasn't enough. Then I made some pork in the frying pan, and that wasn't enough. And now I discovered a new way to make gravy with the pork, which makes me want to have more pork. So how do I make my gravy, you ask? Whether you ask or not, I'm going to tell you. You know that. I take these calamansi, the little lemons, right? 3 or 4. I take a cucumber and I slice it up into slices. Scott Del Fuego said I could eat cucumbers. I slice it up. I don't use soy sauce. I don't use vinegar. No more. It makes my ankle swell up. That was one thing that was making my ankle swell up. I am using now Himalayan pink salt, which don't make my ankle swell up. So I put a little Himalayan salt on the cucumber, and then I squeeze the 3 calamansi lemons, the little ones, the little green ones, onto the cucumber and the salt. And then the fried pork, I cut it into like 3/4 inch little steaks, and I fry it up or broil it up. One batch is broiled, Then a half hour later, the next batch is fried. And then a half hour later, the next batch was broiled. And that was 3/4 of a kilo of meat. And by that time, it was 7:30, and I went to sleep. Took a bath and went to sleep. Then I got up and finished the rest of the kilo off at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was hungry. And I drank 2 more bottles of water. So yesterday I drank 5 liters of water in 2 hours. And then I got up and drank 2 more liters of water at between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning. So I drank 7 liters of water yesterday because I dehydrated myself in the city. But that's what real men do. They push their limits. Did I get tired? No. Did I get out of breath walking up and down the hills? No. Did I even get fatigued from not having water in my body? No. Because my body takes a good strain, a good stress. We push it to the limits. It's not the same as eating shrimp with the scales and the tail and the head and everything like that. That's even, that's even stressing yourself out even further. I mean, what happens, and so, but real men eat shrimp without taking the shells off. No one that's a real man would ever take the shells off of a shrimp. Come on. That's where all the good stuff is. In the tail is the tastiest part of a fried shrimp. By far. More tasty than any other part. The head and all the internal stuff is the second tastiest part. The body is insignificant compared to the head and the tail. But real men know this, and real men eat the shrimp whole. Makes real men real men. That's what makes real men real men. So let me go back to the comments. So far we have 20, get it, 20 troll accounts. My God, 20. Let's see. So Flying Circus left a few links for you guys to go to. And somebody said, whatever happened to my old channel? I finally found you here. Well, nothing happened to my other channel. If you were subscribed to my other channel, it should pop up when you put Michael Fazio in YouTube. It pops up for everybody else. But thanks for stopping by. So that's what I did yesterday. So I completely exhausted an entire day looking for a product that in Queens, New York, I could buy in 50 different stores. And Queens it's just a small suburb of New York State. But within let's see, New York Slings. What was the name of that sling? There was a sling company in Long Island. New York Slings, I think it was, or Long Island Slings. I could order on the phone anything I want. Cable, chain, or slings. On the phone at 9 o'clock in the morning, I talk to the owner or whoever's managing the store, and I don't need to give them a credit card number or nothing. I just tell them this is Michael Fazio when I was in business in New York, and I tell them, look, I need an 18,000-pound cradle, sling configuration, 26 feet long. And I want to pick up a 38-foot fiberglass boat. And I need a 26-foot long sling with eyes on both sides. Or a cable. I need a cable that's 11 foot 2 inches long with a 22,000-pound tensile strength working load. Or chain. Cut me 35 feet of chain and put a cable, a chain hook on both ends. Now, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. What time should I come pick that up? Come at 11 o'clock, sir, Michael. Okay, I'll be there at 11. And I go to the sling company, and the stuff is sitting in a box on the warehouse floor. One phone call, 40 minutes of a drive, 12 minutes to pay the guy in cash, get a receipt, and 40 minutes back. In 2 hours, I would have everything I wanted to do the job I want to do in my backyard. And now I just devoted from 5 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 11 hours, and I got nothing of what I need. Welcome to the Philippines. And I got run around from one place to another. Each guy that didn't have what I wanted, each store, they immediately tell you, sir, go to that store over there. There's a store around the corner. These are little, they'll send you to some little mom and pop hardware store just to send you to another Filipino business. They don't give a flying crap whether you can find anything you want. They're hoping you'll go to that store, get out of their hair, and buy something at that store. Anything to sell something from anybody else's store that's Filipino, they'll say anything. The biggest company that I went to sent me to a little mom and pop hardware store, 8 feet wide and 22 feet deep, just is right around the corner from Build-A-Ware. The littlest store that I've ever been in, hardware store, he sent me there when they didn't have what I want. When the biggest hardware store in Bohol didn't have what I want, they sent me to a mom and pop hardware store that basically they sold some spray paint and tape. And they sold white paint, Boysen paint, that they could not mix to a color. And they sold red lead Boysen paint. They sold masking tape, and they sold spray paint. And a couple of odds and ends. And that was where the biggest hardware store in Bohol sent me to this mom and pop hardware. They don't care. They just want you to go and maybe buy something from somebody else. That's just the way it is here. All right, so I think I'm done. So to the guy that wants to ensnare Barry Jordan into his web of deceit, you should know that 2 of your videos went to the authorities this morning. And they also went to other people, YouTubers, that have or are supposed to be filing cases against you as testimony as to your state of consciousness, your mental state of consciousness. You can't go on YouTube and threaten people's lives, dude. And that's what you did. That's not my opinion. You basically, at the end of the video, at the 39-minute mark, you made it clear as day what you were going to do to Barry Jordan. That's this much shy of a death threat, in my opinion, is a blatant, outright death threat. And that's my show. So I'm going to say thanks for stopping by. If there's any more comments, I'll read them. Scott Del Fuego, maybe, no. Whatever happened to my old channel? You guys make it like a mystery. Michael Fazio, Google it anywhere in the world and I pop up on YouTube from 2 different channels. And now it's a mystery? Honda Toy? Okay, if you say so. I'm not going to be posting the links for those videos. I think other people posted those links. I do want to read my mail in case I got any. No responses. Most of the authorities that I send the videos to, they don't respond. They're just keeping a file and waiting for a certain individual to get back to the Philippines. Of course, now this individual, he buried himself today. I have more. Dude, you've had more evidence. You've had enough evidence to put every single person in jail in the Philippines in jail for years, but you're still collecting evidence? Who's the one that threatened Barry Jordan's life? Not me. Who is the one that threatened to cut out Barry Jordan's tongue? Not me. Who is the one that calls me pustule man, not Barry Jordan. Who is the man that calls me the walrus, not Barry Jordan? You're the one who does that. So anybody that uses your videos against you is not building up an evidence file against me. They're using your videos against you. That they're just going to come back and slap you in the face with those videos. Personally, I am surprised that you have gotten away with this that long. You know and I know that what you do, because you've worked around it, is not right to do it. Possibly it's illegal. Probably it's immoral, for sure, in my opinion. But how you've gotten away with it for this long, you have made outright blatant threats to several people this week. Any one of those people or anybody else that says, well, I've just had enough of this guy, could do something to you that you would regret. Well, maybe not regret. You said it yourself. You said it yourself that you know that anything can happen to anybody at any time, and it's inevitable that one day someone gets pissed off enough about you that comes up and approaches you and confronts you with your bullshit. Dude, you're something wrong in your head. This isn't a theory. I could give you the emails back from the agencies when we were corresponding. They were all in agreement that you ain't right. Now, they won't say it to you, and I would never make it public, but there's something not right in your head, and everybody knows it. So if we use your videos to show your mental state of consciousness and add to that how many threats you've made in the past about crushing people's heads with rocks, smashing their heads with baseball bats or golf clubs, or shooting people that go to your property. These are all death threats, dude. Cutting Barry Jordan's tongue out with a carpet knife, cutting his family jewels off with a carpet knife. Those are death threats. Those are not innuendo. Those are not insignificant conversational pieces between friends. Those are death threats, dude. That's what you do because you're mentally unstable. Okay, even Andrew said those videos have gone. He's just confirming what I said. And he knows who they are because he's my friend. Andrew, I have a question, nothing to do with today's live stream. Are you going to be available on Skype? Because I'm going to end this stream in like 90 seconds. Can I call you? Four gulps, 7 bubbles. That's the Del Fuego way. Boy, was I thirsty. Andrew might be gone. Okay, I'm going to call you anyway. I'm going to see if you're available on Skype. It is past your bedtime, but I'll see. So thanks for watching my videos, and remember that there's nothing that I said in my video that can't be proven with videos, video clips, and or sound bites. Nothing. And if it comes to that, there are people putting together entire folders of sound bites to prove other things as well as what I said today. So thanks for watching, and I won't go into that happy nonsense. Even the back the backsliding, backstabbing, nefarious way in which the little fella tries to get you to go to his channel. And don't forget, and he makes it like he tries to talk like Barry Jordan. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to super chat me. Don't forget. He makes it sound like he's making fun of Barry Jordan, but really what he's trying to get you to do is to subscribe to his channel. Because he thinks inside his little brain, and his brain is very small compared to the average person. He thinks inside his brain that he's going to build up his channel somehow to make himself famous in the Philippines vlogging genre as far as monetary success is concerned, where he's going to earn money. No one will ever give him any money on YouTube, but he can try, and now he's threatening people. I might just go out and buy a Hero 9 Black. What for? You stick your finger over the lens or cover up your face on 95% of your videos. Oh, it's the Hero Black screen video camera. So he's going to go out and spend $700 for an underwater camera that videotapes in black. He has a black screen. He's going to go out and spend $700 so he can cover the screen of a waterproof camera. Something ain't right in your head, dude. The finger. He's going to spend $700 for a camera that he's going to cover the camera with his finger, or cover it with a sock or a pair of dirty underwear or something like that. What's going on inside his head? Not much. And and by the way, I didn't forget. Now, don't anybody else forget. On or before January 10th, it is now. It's now happening. It's now confirmed. On or before January 10th, I'm going to destroy what little credibility he has. I have a way to do it, a legal way, a way that YouTube will allow, a way that is not breaking any rules or any ordinances or not against the law. I'm going to destroy what little bit of credibility he has left on YouTube, except for his his ardent following of trolls, like that piece of garbage, Bill Clinton. I only use Bill Clinton as an example because Bill Clinton was once a member of my community, and now he thinks that the little fella is a better blogger and that the little fella has better content. Bill Clinton, either you're trolling the little fella or you just lost your cognitive ability to deal with reality because you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and it's getting ready to snow for the next 5 months and you've lost your mind. But no way on earth does the little fella have better content. He has no content. He keeps saying he has better content than me. He has nothing on his channel. His channel is blank. All his previous channels are blank. The only thing that's up on YouTube are people's downloads of his uploads. And now, that's it. He posts and he removes. He posts and he removes. So he needs a Hero 9 Black to post a video with no face on the screen, with a rag over the screen. He needs a $700 camera so he can cover up the lens. Guy is just stone mentally incapacitated. There's something wrong with this guy. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. No doubt in my mind about it. And Bill Clinton, you're just a typical troll. You and that other guy, Freebird, and so many others. Oh, so many others. You see, you have reduced yourself to admonishing a complete waste of humanity when it comes to YouTube vlogging capacity or abilities. There is nothing on his channel. There isn't anything on his channel. There's nothing on his channel. There's no videos. There's no uploads. There's no live streams. There's no content. And yet you make a comment that he has the best channel on YouTube. So you got to be trolling him, or there's something wrong with you because you got cabin fever. I don't know, and I don't care. Okay, I'm going to call Andrew now. I'm Bing Permy from Mr. Congeniality himself. And if you knew why they called me Mr. Congeniality, you too would agree. And don't forget, Passport TV has a pretty funny video up of none other. Who are we talking about? Mr. Congeniality and Flying Circus. Passport TV has quite the video up. You should go watch that. We'll shout out the Passport. Flying Circus has a lot of videos up too. Flying Circus, I'll give you a minute to post your link to your channel, and then I'll end this stream. Yeah, I found a new way to make gravy for my pork. Oof, it's good. I'm waiting for Flying Circus to leave a link for his page, and then I'm going to go. No, I still didn't get any... Wow. Thank you. I am reading some of my private messages. That made me smile. Okay, Flying Circus put a link up to his channel. Thanks, Flying Circus. And I'll see you guys. I'm going deep. I got to go deep into these cargo containers to look for chains, because I got a truck that'll pick up my cargo containers so I can level it off. Although... it's going to take a whole day. Well, I have other stuff to do. I have to build shelves. What else do I have to do? Yeah. I'm going to end this live stream, and it's, I got plenty of time. It's not even 12 o'clock. I'll have lunch, more pork, baby, with the fat, and then I'll go up on the roof at the hottest time of the day with a hand scrub brush and the electric blower. I did fix the electric wasn't working on the roof the other day. I got that fixed. It was a circuit breaker that virtually never blows, and it's in an oddball place. So I got that. So at the hottest time of the day, I'm going to go up and I'm going to basically lay on my belly. And all that white pine, the 5-quarter white pine, the $2,500 worth of white pine, I'm going to clean it off. I don't see any termite damage to the white pine. I don't see any termite damage to the African red ribbon mahogany that I built my boat out of. Nothing. No damage at all to that. And then I may even show you the pieces of the boat that I dismantled that I had built. I put it in the water, Operation Sail 1976, and I dismantled the boat 86 plus 7 in 1993, just before I left for Florida. I took the boat apart. I took the engine out. I sold the stern drive for like $400. And the motor I just scrapped, but I kept the steering wheel. Kept the throttle cables because I want to make a display inside the hotel of, and I took the sides of the boat, the sides of the cuddy cabin, which are 3/4 inch African red ribbon mahogany, and I have one of the two doors up here and one of the two doors in the other cargo container. I think I have both doors, and many of the complete framework of the cuddy cabin I have. It's all 3/4 inch African red ribbon mahogany, and I'm going to clean all of that off and blow it, and then stack it on top of the cargo container. I'm getting ready to move these cargo containers. One is going over to my other property, and one is just going to get lifted up level. So let me check my private messages. I gotta laugh. Okay, I just got a really funny private message. And remember, on or before January 10th, I am going to destroy, annihilate, raze to the ground any credibility a certain blogger thinks that he has on YouTube. After that date, on or before January 10th, anybody, including Bill Clinton, including Freebird, including the Hemorrhoid, including anybody that goes to his channel and praises him, including that piece of garbage, the slob, and his friend Richie, anybody that ever goes to his channel and gives him accolades will just look like big zeros on YouTube. Nobody will ever be able to defend his credibility after I am done with a completely legitimate way to destroy his credibility with facts and with facts, more facts, and more facts on top of facts. So I just got this, somebody put together some information for me. There would be no way, but I'm not going to do it till after the holidays because of something else that's probably going to happen after the holidays. So we're going to destroy a YouTuber's lies, deceits, half-truths, and or his so-called credibility in a public venue on YouTube, and it will be completely within the bounds of YouTube guidelines. Absolutely. And he will not be able to defend his so-called credibility. The man is a blatant, outright storytelling, false statement making, non-content YouTuber. I don't know what else to say without being demonetized. Can't say much more than that. I'm Pink Permy from Mr. Congeniality because I'm the nicest guy I know. Ask me. I'll tell you, I come with my own references. And so, I'm Pink Permy from the Philippines, which means take care always. That's right, baby. I'm Pink Permy. Bye-bye for now.